Between Penney and Herbalife, we don't know how bad of a day, but clearly Bill Ackman is having a big day. As you said, he owns 18% of JCP. At one point, he said he could make 15 times his investment. Since Ron Johnson got to his post, Penney lost nearly half its value, leaving Mr. Ackman in a sticky situation. He is clearly in deep, but it's too soon to tell, Deirdre, exactly how it's going to play out. Now, Ackman himself recruited Ron Johnson from Apple in 2011, telling the New York Times, quote, Ron Johnson is the Steve Jobs of the retail industry. He is a credit to the company. He believed Johnson's startup mentality, but now the big question is, now that Johnson is out, will Ackman hang on? I mean, does he have a little bit of egg on his face here? Possibly, so you have to think, is it too soon to tell what he's going to do? High-level insiders had told us Ullman is a strong, safe place card holder, but that's the extent of his role. The company needs somebody there 24/7 as an operational leader who's going to be burning the midnight oil. And at almost 67 years old, that's not Ullman. He knows the company, but he's not necessarily going to lead it. We also heard that Penney and their board had been in talks with possible Johnson replacements before his departure, and potentially private equity firms are looking closely at the company, not to take it private, but as an individual investment.
All right, now, Steph, I mean, you mentioned before there's some other bad retail calls. Just give us the report card.
Okay, this is not his first time at the retail rodeo. He lost big on his Borders bet as well as Target. In Borders, he acknowledges that he lost at least $125 million on that investment. Target, he sold his stake in early 2011 and lost about 90% of his firm's $2 billion investment. Now, keep in mind, he has had other positive. He had a big investment in Sears, Kmart. Now, that might not end up being a win for Eddie Lampert, who's now the king of Sears and Kmart. But in 2004, Ackman, in conjunction with Vornado, did very well. And take retail aside, look at some of Ackman's other holdings this year: Canadian Pacific, Procter & Gamble, General Growth Properties. He's actually up on the year and doing pretty well. As it relates to Penney, clearly this is a black eye, and we don't know how things are going to play out for Herbalife, which, as you know, is in the news because we don't really know enough details besides the fact that the auditor, KPMG, has stepped down.